Om Shanti. There was once this sister who visited the center, and she told me that my life is in a mess and I'm doing everything properly. I'm taking care of the family, I'm doing my job, I'm doing everything properly as I can do, and still my life is a mess. Then I told her, you're not doing everything properly, obviously, that's why life is a mess. So she said, no, you just point out what's not proper in my life. I said, I can't even see that your life is a mess. So you're sitting here in front of me all decked up and apparently you look okay. So if what we do apparently is what matters, then we all appear okay. And that should be enough. So appearances are not everything. So she said she was doing everything okay, apparently, and then she was appearing okay. Apparently she was okay. But then she started understanding, and then I shared that, see, it's what you're doing on the inside. That's what causing what you're feeling on the inside. So if actions were limited to what we do on the external, and then the consequences would be limited to what is visible on the external, and on the external we are still looking okay. Are we not? So actions are not only done, so the only kind of actions are not the ones that are visible, and the only kind of consequences are not those are visible. So this is why Baba gives us this education about the consciousness that we are in, the attitude that we are having, the way we are focusing our attention, the thoughts and feelings that we are creating. All these things that we are doing on the inside are more important than just what we do on the outside. And this is why what we are feeling on the inside is more important than what's happening on the outside. So Baba says that your whole world is here. Only a very little portion of it is out there. And then you are not focused on the inside, which Baba calls introverted. So when you are plugged inside, you will take care of what's going on inside. And when you take care of that, then what you are receiving on the inside as a product of the karma you're doing on the inside will change. And that is what we need to understand. And that is where Baba is filling in the gap. And on the inside, the consciousness or our awareness of ourselves, our awareness of who we are, and our awareness of our dignity and authority as souls is very, very important. And mostly we are in a sense of feeling very unworthy as people, and then we are trying to compensate it through external things, which is not the way it works. So I'll start with the blessing, and what I'm talking today is actually about the blessing. And Baba in the blessing today says something very beautiful and very relevant. Baba says, The master knowledgeful children cannot perform any dance of fear. So if you see, these days everybody is performing the dance of fear. And what is the dance of fear? So there are various tones of thoughts and feelings and words that we are using, and they're all creating the music of fear. And then our state of mind is dancing according to that music of fear. So we are creating it through our thoughts, our words, everything, and everything is riddled with fear these days. So Baba says, the master knowledgeful children cannot perform any dance of fear. To come down the ladder one moment and to go up the next moment. So there is this seesaw going on. So one time you think, 1 second you think, okay, I have everything in control, so okay. And the next second you think, what if this, what if that? And then again you go down. So this is the kind of seesaw game we are playing all day. And you see, there was this somebody who yesterday told me, I am having a little, discomfort in my throat, and I don't know whether it's COVID or I had COVID, so I don't know whether it's post-COVID. And then and then they read the whole, they pulled out Google page, and then they typed post-COVID symptoms, and then they read the whole of it, and then they said, no, it's not, it doesn't look like post-COVID, so I think I should be okay. So you see, this is the dance that's going on. So there is one moment you're up, and then again next moment you say, what if? And then you go down, and then again up. So this is going on. Now Baba says, now change that sanskar, and you will go very fast. Now how do you change this sanskar? So Baba has given us very beautiful 3 points. Baba says, simply use the authority, the knowledge, and the cooperation of the family that you have received, and continue to move along with your hand in the Father's hand. Now you see, we have heard many times this expression, give your hand in Baba's hand. Yes, and it's not only in Gyan, but even in Bhakti, we talk about giving your hand in God's hand. But then how do you give your hand in God's hand? And do you know that there is this idol in Jagannath Puri, and it's a Krishna idol, but it's very different from how Krishna is portrayed in other temples. And then in that idol there are these big eyes, and then there is a face. And the interesting thing is, God who is depicted as Sri Krishna in Jagannath Puri is shown not to have hands. Okay, so there are no hands. It's an idol without hands. And I think because there was some sense that God is Nirakar, or he doesn't have a body, but they didn't know how to depict God without a body. So what they did is they showed that he doesn't have any hands. And then it is said in Jagannath Puri that God doesn't have hands because he doesn't do karma. He teaches you how to do karma, and you have the hands. Yes, and now Baba says that you hear this expression, put your hand in God's hand, but God doesn't have physical hands. Yes, so what is this expression all about? How do you put your hand in God's hand? Now Baba says, by using the authority, the knowledge, and the cooperation of the family that you have received. Now, how has Baba extended his hand to us? He has given us authority. Now, what is authority that Baba has given? Baba has, so we were always told that you can be a victim of the body, you can be a victim of the circumstances, you can be a victim of how people behave with you, you can be a victim of your financial situation. But Baba has told us you are a soul. You are eternal, imperishable, and nothing in this world, nothing of this world should be able to kill your spirit. Now you see, when the spirit cannot be killed, then the spirit of the spirit should always be high. So I, the soul, am beyond death. Nothing can kill me, nothing can undermine my value or worth, because my value, my worth is very intrinsic. I am valuable because I am. I am valuable because I am God's child. So Baba says, use that authority that comes from knowing who you really are and who you really belong to. And do not, and when you are in this stance of authority, then whatever is happening on the external is not able to undermine your spirit. Yes, it's not able to put you into this dance of fear and this dance of gratitude because something that you were afraid of didn't happen. So you will not go into this dance of fear and this dance of fearlessness, which is momentary. But you will always be in that state of fearlessness if you use your authority that you receive from Baba, that comes from this sense of who you really are and who you really belong to. Do you agree that if you stay in the consciousness that you are a soul, an eternal, imperishable, peaceful, loveful, blissful, pure point of light, then you will be in a very authoritative state? Do you agree that? Yes? Do you agree with that? Yes? And Baba says, just practice this and come to that place of authority. And do you understand that if you practice enough that you belong to the one who is the ocean of everything, who is the Almighty, then you will have this sense of authority within you, which will save you from falling into that abyss of fear every time something on the external is not looking okay. So Baba says, this is what it means giving your hand in God's hand. So using the authority that you have received from Baba. And then Baba has also given us the authority that the drama may throw up many scenes, the drama may present many circumstances, but then you are more powerful than the drama. Do you have that authority? Yes. Have you built that authority? Have you told yourself several times that I have nothing to fear because I'm more powerful than anything and everything that would come my way? Have you used this? How many have used this? If you've used this, you know the power that it holds. I will tell you one thing. When I came into Gyan, after I think 2 years or 3 years, maybe 2.5, I was in a situation where everything around me was just falling apart. Like there there was nothing that I could hold on to, whether it be physical health, whether it be work, relationships. It was just falling apart, everything and all at the same time. And then I wanted to use Gyan, but I couldn't because it was becoming very difficult. And every day I used to wake up and I had this feeling in my stomach that I don't know what's going to fall apart today. What news am I going to receive today? Or what is somebody going to do today that will have consequences on my life? And it was in that state that I didn't know where to turn to or what to do to save that situation. And then I I was I will tell you that incident also. So I was just watching something on the internet, and then there was this video which kept popping up. So there was this video of Baba's Gyan, and there was this class, and it was very interesting because I changed so many pages and still this video would keep popping up, and I felt like it was calling out to me. And that video was in that video there was one sister speaking, and I had never heard that sister before, so I was not very interested in hearing that class. But then anyways, it was kind of calling out to me, so I just played that video. And in that video, this same thing that Baba is talking about, using your authority. You've got the knowledge that you're very powerful. You've got the knowledge that you're the child of the Almighty. But why don't you stay in that authority? So I heard that class, and then from that day onwards, I started practicing this one mantra. I just started talking in my mind like that first, and that mantra was, I'm a soul, I come alone, I go alone, I always have Baba with me, I have nothing to lose, and I don't want anything. And then in the beginning, it was just something I was speaking in my mind, but not something that was translating into a feeling. But then as I started believing in it, it gave me so much of authority that I was in that same situation, but I felt like I had everything together, and I was not feeling like I was in shambles. And slowly, gradually, what I was feeling on the inside started reflecting on the outside, and everything started getting together miraculously. Like the relationships that were going bad, suddenly, they had some enlightenment and they started talking to me. And or the finances that were a wreck, suddenly they started sorting themselves out. And it was magical, and that was my first experience in Gyan, how actually everything works inside out. But in order to be in control of the inside, you have to be in the authority of what Baba tells you. So this is why Baba says, use my authority, use the authority that you've received from me. Yes, and you see that there is authority vested in a doctor, and that doctor knows that I know the medicine that will work in a certain disease, and then he can treat himself, right? But if he doubts his own authority and he says, okay, I know that this medicine works, but I don't know whether I can use it on myself, and what if this doesn't work, then he will not be able to cure himself. So Baba says, I've given you every solution, but why don't you stay in the authority of what you know? And the authority that comes from the awareness that you are an eternal, imperishable soul, which has got nothing to lose. And who actually shouldn't fall prey to any desire, because the drama is predestined and the drama will give you whatever you need at every single moment. So just trust that. Don't go into this trap of desire. So if you are able to ward off desire like this, and then if you are able to work on your fear by knowing you have nothing to lose, then I don't think you will dance this dance of fear anymore. And then the second thing Baba asks us to use is the knowledge. And Baba has given us the knowledge. So the knowledge of how to be when you are working with difficult situations, the knowledge of how to be with difficult people, the knowledge of how to be when you're alone. Yes, and Baba says, do everything knowledgefully. Don't do something because you just feel like doing it. So every action, every thought should be knowledgeful. Baba has told you that if somebody around you is weak, then create thoughts, words, and acts that encourage them and uplift them. So use that knowledge. Don't keep complaining about why they are weak and why they can't support you the way you want them to support you. So Baba says, use my authority, use my knowledge. And then the third thing Baba says, which is most important, Baba says, use the cooperation of the family. And you see, Baba has given us this divine family. And this divine family where we can meet every day and we can share experiences and points of knowledge and listen to how practically people in this divine family have applied Baba's knowledge and benefited from it. And their understanding and rumination and everything, you can take benefit of that. And you see, these days, it's not only limited to this one class, but you see, on the internet, you have so many classes. And Baba says you can take the benefit of all those meditation videos and those classes, and that's the cooperation of the family. So our seniors, elders, sisters, brothers, they have done so much of work which we can use for our inner upliftment. And Baba says, take the cooperation of the family. And that's a virtual family. But you know, here we have a family in which we can interact every day and we can talk, and questions can be there, answers can be there, and there can be personal guidance. So Baba says, take the cooperation of the family also. And I don't know why some people just discontinue classes and discontinue this online interaction, which is very important, because if you don't take the cooperation of the family, then you will be with Baba but still feel like you're alone, because Baba and the family come together. And if you're not able to take the support of the family, sometimes feeling close to Baba becomes a very arduous task. So Baba says, use the cooperation of the family. And Baba says, you will then continue to perform the dance of happiness. Then there cannot be any dance of fear without being afraid. However, it is when you catch hold of Maya's hand that you then perform that dance. So when Maya is guiding your thoughts and feelings, then you perform the dance of fear. And if you use these three things, authority, knowledge, and the cooperation of the family, then that dance will change into the dance of happiness. Okay, so this is something. And today Baba is talking about fashion. So some days back also Baba was talking about fashion. And Baba says, in which direction do the intellects of people wander these days? So Baba says, towards fashion, people follow so many different kinds of fashion to attract others. They have learnt this fashion from the pictures. They believe that Parvati also followed fashion like that and used to have such hairstyles. Baba says, you children mustn't be fashionable in this impure world. I send you to a world where there is such natural beauty that there is no need for fashion. Now, do you remember a time when the only kind of interior decor that houses had was the pictures of deities? So in our houses, I think even 40, 50 years back, the only kind of pictures you had or the only kind of interior decor you knew was putting up pictures of, Sri Ram, Sri Sita, Lakshmi Narayan, Sri Ganesh, or, Ganesh and Hanuman, or the pictures of Sri Krishna, Radhe. So those are the pictures we used to put up. Yes, and that was the only kind of interior decor we knew, at least in India. How many remember that time? So I don't know whether you belong to that time. Some are very young and new age, but we remember that time if we belong to that time. And Baba says that when those pictures were put up, then you always saw that these deities were very well adorned, full makeup on the face and, a lot of ornaments and jewelry. And even 50 years back, we didn't know how to portray beauty. Yes, so you don't know how to portray the radiance of purity in a picture. So what you did is you externally adorned the deity a lot in the picture. So you put up a picture where the deity wore a lot of ornaments and gaudy dresses and put on a lot of makeup, because that was the only way we knew how to depict beauty. Yes, and Baba says that that's not the beauty that deities have. And if you look at the question today and the answer, Baba says a very important thing. People follow so many different types of fashion to attract others. Now, just like, every soul wants to feel peaceful, loveful, happy, powerful, you also want to feel attractive. And you want to attract cooperation and love, and you want to attract people towards you. And you like it when people like you, don't you? So the quality of being attractive is very attractive to a soul, and a soul likes being attractive. And because there is nothing on the inside that is attractive anymore, that's why people are using their bodies and external fashion to attract other people. And you always want to have something new on your body which will attract someone's attention. And I have seen, there is this young girl who comes to me, and every time she comes to me, she's with something new, something that would catch your eye. So whether it's a new hairstyle or a new tattoo, or she does something to her body all the time. And then if I fail to notice, she gets very upset. Because I usually fail to notice. And, after 15 minutes of conversation, she would tell me, "Sister, did you notice my new hairstyle?" So I'd say, "Yeah, you look different, but I don't know, but I didn't quite figure out. So she would be very upset and she would say, I spent 5,000 on this and look at you, you don't even notice. So, so I said, do you do this to everybody you meet? So she said, no, you're the only one on the planet who doesn't notice. Everybody notices. So I don't have to do this to everybody. I only have to do this to you. So, so you see, this is the thing with people these days, because they want to they want to look attractive, but then they don't know how to look attractive, so they do something with the body or the face or the hair, and then they want to attract your attention. Now Baba says that if you want to be attractive, which is okay, as a soul also you have a desire to be attractive, but then what is attractive? So if you look at all the people you are genuinely attracted to and sustainedly attracted to, so just look at your life and who are you genuinely attracted to and sustainedly attracted to? They are not the people with physical beauty alone. Yes, they are the ones who shine from within. And there's a very good saying, so if you shine from within, you don't need the spotlight. And you may appear attractive through these external methods for some time, but that attraction won't be real and that attraction won't be long, because they are not attracted to you, they are attracted to the body. So it's not real. And then second thing is, it won't be long, because they would find somebody's body more attractive than you in a short time. So Baba says, if you really want to be attractive, work on the light within. And when you work on your knowledgeful state, which translate into a stable state, and you work on your state of purity, your state of genuine spiritual love within you for the other souls, when you work on your state of super sensuous happiness and your inner powers, then you become really attractive. And Baba says there's no problem with wanting to be attractive, but that quest should not be followed by physical methods, because that is not what will make you genuinely or sustainably attractive. And Baba says, even in bhakti, people didn't know that deities were not attractive because of how they looked or how they dressed. They were attractive because of the soul they were. And then Baba says that you children mustn't be fashionable in this impure world, because it's not a good idea to attract people towards your body, because then your body is in danger. So if they are attracted towards you, that's good. But if they are attracted towards your body, then you are in trouble, because they would want to do something to your body and you don't want that. So Baba says, don't be fashionable in this impure world. So I send you to a world where there is such natural beauty that there is no need for fashion. But then if you make your nature, the nature of the soul, very beautiful, then you will go to that world. And if you make your spiritual qualities in such good state, then you'll go to that world. So this is something that Baba talks about. And now you understand why people have this fixation with fashion and cosmetics and other stuff. It's just their desire to feel attractive, which is taking a different path. So next time you see somebody, don't criticize them, have compassion, that they want to be attractive, that's all, that's the desire. But that desire has gone wrong because there is no knowledge of how to do it. And I'll give you one example. So I was once walking down a road, and it was scorching summer. And this is like 10 years back. It was scorching summer, and I was just sweating profusely. And I had to wipe off the sweat on my face every 1 minute. And then there was this woman who was also walking on that street, and in that same scorching heat, with so much of makeup and this big heels. And when I saw her, my heart skipped a beat, and I just couldn't imagine how she could afford to get so dressed up and at this hour of the day, and how she's carrying it off. And it was so difficult for me to even imagine her plight. And I kind of got very troubled by that. And then I went to my teacher in the class next day, and I told her, what is the need to do all this? And I was very flustered. So then she turned my attention towards, being compassionate. And she said, do you understand that in the world, we don't need to do 99.999% of the things we do. But we are all doing it because we are driven by lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. And then there is this one thing called desire. And what you just saw was the desire to look attractive. And that's what's driving that action. So there is actually no need to do anything, if you see. The only need to do something is cook, earn, and meditate. Yes, that's all you need to do. But then you are doing much more than that. If you look at your life, from the time you get up in the morning to the time you sleep in the night, you are thinking, speaking, and acting in so many different ways which you don't need to. But you're doing all of that because you are driven by desire. And this is the desire to look attractive. And then there is the desire for someone's body or someone's emotional support, or there's the desire to feel secure because you have a lot in the bank account. So these are desires that are driving our lives. And what you just saw is a different desire from what you have. And then that's why you don't understand. But then we all are driven by desires. So now you work on your desire and be compassionate towards other people's desires, and then learn how to teach them or, orient them towards becoming free from desires. So that's the lesson I was taught, and so then I shared it with you so that you can also learn the desire that actually drives this whole world into fashion and beauty and other stuff. Okay. There is something I want to share with all of you. We are starting a new batch of Raj Yoga course from 8th July. The details of the course are there in front of the screen. You can read them, and there is a number on which registration is to be done if somebody intends to do the course. I request you all to send this message to each and every soul you know, so that they can also take the benefit of Baba's knowledge and whatever Baba wants to give them. So make this a personal mission to send this message to each and every soul, the details of the course, so that they can register on the given number and undertake the course. Om Shanti.